Jackson's personal physician at the time of his death. Mr. Chernoff, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Matt. Thanks.
So you know, here we've got this physician who was at the side of Michael Jackson when he died, and already family members are saying they've got some serious questions for Dr. Murray. They call the circumstances of Michael Jackson's death bizarre. Is your client surprised that he's fallen under the microscope so quickly?
I think he is. I don't think he was ready for this this kind of attack. I think it's to be expected, considering the circumstances. I think it's to be expected. You've
described his actions on that day. He was in the bedroom with Michael Jackson. He tried to resuscitate him. He tried to call 911. He dealt with the doctors at the emergency room. He stayed in the hospital room. He dealt with the family members. He talked to the children. You would almost expect that at the end of this ordeal, he would be given a warm embrace by the family, and yet they seem to have these suspicions, and I'm wondering if you can explain that.
I have never lost a son. I can't explain how the Jackson family might feel under these circumstances, and I don't want to judge the decisions that they're making and the accusations that they're making as sinister in some way. I don't know why they're doing this. I can say this. When the investigation's complete, when toxicology is done, when everything is finally resolved in this case, Dr. Murray will be exonerated, and maybe they'll feel differently.
Let me ask you, was Dr. Murray completely qualified to handle the kind of medical emergency that obviously occurred in that room? I mean, he's been described as a cardiologist, yet he does not have board certification in cardiology or internal medicine. Was he qualified?
Absolutely, he was qualified. He's been a doctor and a cardiologist for 20 years.
And yet not board certified. There are some in the medical community who say that raises red flags.
Well, why would it raise red flags unless there was some evidence that Michael Jackson had heart disease or some heart infirmity that required that kind of specialization? And there is no evidence of that.
Was Dr. Murray fully apprised by Michael Jackson and others around him of his complete medical history and his history with prescription drug use, either the recent history or past history?
Well, once again, we're making an assumption about Michael Jackson's past drug history. I can say that Dr. Murray was very careful in making sure he understood what Michael Jackson, his health situation was at the time that he took over as his personal physician. He did tests, he took blood, ran blood tests to check out things, and check out his liver and other organs. He
Did
knew
any of those blood tests raise red flags for Dr. Murray? Did he find anything in any of those blood tests that would say, wait a second, we have a possible medical situation that we've got to take action on here, or at the very least not tell this guy that he was not fit to go out on this tour he was about to embark on?
No, there was no evidence he was not fit to go out on the tour. And yes, he looked into his physical condition, and no, there were no red flags. Look, nothing that the doctor did with Michael Jackson, nothing that the doctor observed Michael Jackson do, none of the tests that were performed led the doctor to believe that Michael Jackson had a heart condition or something that would cause immediate death. Remember, he came on board, he was hired by the production company in May of this year for the first time. What Michael Jackson would have done prior to May of 2009 with regard to drug use or anything of that nature, doctor's not going to be privy to.
Well, but it's an important part of a medical history if you're going to go on tour with someone.
Absolutely, and certainly he would have asked. But there was nothing that Michael Jackson told him that would have led him to believe that he was not capable of making this tour.
And finally, Mr. Chernoff, the police did impound Dr. Murray's car, which is a somewhat unusual step. I mean, I'm trying to figure out the circumstances surrounding that, and all I can come to is that they looked in the window, saw something that aroused some suspicion, so decided to take the next legal step. Is that fair?
No, it's not fair. Dr. Murray wasn't there. They impounded the vehicle for evidentiary purposes. We had no problem with that. Look, when the police came out to the scene, they were investigating. They had no idea where Dr. Murray was. They had no idea what happened with Michael Jackson. They were doing their job by impounding the vehicle.
And did they take anything from that vehicle that they've since held as evidence, or did they release the car and its contents?
Well, I don't know if they did or not. I can say this. We gave them the key to the vehicle. We gave them complete permission to search the vehicle, and they have agreed to turn the vehicle back over to Dr. Murray.
All right. Ed Chernoff, who is the lawyer representing Conrad Murray, the personal physician of Michael Jackson. Mr. Chernoff, thanks for your time this morning.
Okay, Matt. Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael Jackson's sister Janet appeared on an